In this video, we're going to show you what you can possibly do if you have a timing belt that broke on your 3.5, J35,
That's certainly not
Honda,
good.
or Saturn Vue like me. I'm going to give you my book so you're able to see the timing marks. I don't even know at this point if this is going to work. So we're going to go through all the stuff that I did to actually figure out if we could keep this thing on the road. All right, enough with the agony. Oh yeah, now she doesn't even want to turn over. This part was a part that I was going to make for a future video, but if you ever have one of these that won't start when you turn the key, just put it in neutral. Then push on the brake and start the vehicle like normal. All that means is your neutral safety switch is going bad and you need to replace it, but you can drive that thing for like a year or two with that thing bad. Just got to start it in neutral every time. Sorry, back to the point of this video. It's definitely not that. So behind us, we've got my black Saturn Vue Redline, and a couple months ago, I put a new timing belt on this thing. And we had some rusted engine cradle brackets, but we used my patented Clayway engine cradle bracket program and replaced them as well. Well, it started making some rumbling and grumbling, and I parked it on the side of the road because I didn't want it to break. I knew it was the freaking timing belt. Then I proceeded to walk home 4 miles to get my truck and my trailer to pull it back. Unfortunately, though, while it was on the trailer, I needed to move it up 3 inches. And I think 3 inches probably going to cost me 3,000 bucks. Who would ever thunk lazy little dick syndrome would cost you that kind of money? 3 inches is expensive nowadays, but if I could buy 3 more. However, I thought this was a good opportunity to try to show you what I did wrong and can we fix a broken timing belt on a Honda J35 3.5 V6 for the Pilot, Odyssey, whatever the different ones, Saturn Vue in this situation, even if the timing belt broke, because I really don't know. I've started taking it down. I didn't remove the covers. I removed the bolts out of the covers so you and I can see it for the first time. I'm really not happy about this. If this timing belt is broken and I cannot back without the valves being bent, then you got to remove the cylinder head, fix the bad valves, put the cylinder heads back on, or you got to replace the engine. None of that sounds fun to me. If you don't know, these are called interference engines. When the engine starts to freewheel and the crank is moving, but the valves aren't moving, one of the valves are going to be open when that happens and the timing belt breaks off, meaning that the pistons are going to come up and slap that valve and bend it. The question is, if we set the timing back correctly and we do it in a thoughtful manner, will the engine start again? Shit. Well, that's definitely not what we wanted to see, but this is a rare opportunity to see if we can set the timing back correctly and how we would do that and see if we can get the engine running. I'm going to finish taking off the rest of these covers and we're going to find out what I did wrong or what malfunctioned. That side's not broken off of there, but that is, so my suspicion is, nope, the water pump is not bad, so that wasn't the issue. It's probably some dummy stuff I did. Whatever that strip of metal is isn't good, but there's a strip of metal hanging out right there. So, here we go. That bushing seems to be good. That bearing seems to be good. But that belt is behind the tensioner. So something had to happen. Well, that's certainly not good. Ay, ay, ay. I can't help but to think that whatever I did caused this, and I don't see too well, so I can't tell for certain, but I'll bet you my tensioner assembly here is probably squadoosh. Don't appear like it is, though. I don't know. I don't know how this belt could slip off. But I know my cam's moving, so that's probably a good sign. And if I had to suspect a cam that hit the pistons, would be that one. Okay, so what happened was our tensioner failed, and then that allowed that to go back into there. That is not sticking out as far as it should, I don't believe. Something between here and here, because of all this metal right here, definitely happened. So I'm going to go and clean this belt off of this crank and remove the crank pulley off of here, and hopefully our crank sensor is good. I'm going to blow all this stuff out of here. We know it wasn't the belt that broke because of a couple different reasons. When I put this thing back together, the very next day it was making a funny noise, but I still proceeded to put another 6,000 miles on it. Definitely done a lot smarter things. Note to yourself, you should probably take this crap apart. When you have weird noises coming from something that you just worked on, duh, loser. Definitely wasn't the belt breaking, because if the belt had broke, it wouldn't be stretched. At the end of the video, I'm going to explain to you the procedure that I used to be able to do this. Right here I was talking about it, but it's kind of buttered up because I wasn't quite certain how it was going to work at the time, if it was going to work at all. And I'm still unsure if it's actually going to work, but you're going to find out. Worst case scenario, we'll pop the intake off of it, pop the valves out of it, release the cams so all the valves shut, and then we can see if any of the valves are actually bent. Now, I don't personally think that there's any way that this sucker didn't bend the valves. But just in case, my mark was down here. I'm going to move it up to here, and it's supposed to be approximately in this notch right here. And then I'm going to move this engine forward and see what happens. Now, if the engine stops during this movement, all I need to do is move one of these cams, and I can figure out where the cam and the valves are touching the pistons, so that I can move it accordingly, a little bit this way or a little bit that way. The object is to get this to top dead center, get these to where they're opening and closing correctly. Then we can throw our belt on, throw a tensioner on it, and we can start it just like this. So if that works, I literally would have gotten very, very lucky, and have never done this before. And without the valve covers off, I can't really see what's doing. One way to be for certain that you get this correct would be take the intake off, pop the valve covers off, take off all the cam journals, allow your valves to all close, and then you could look at the valves and see if any of them are bent. You can shine a light down in the spark plug hole and you'll see it come up through there. There's a lot of different ways to do this. But to save all that time, since I think it's already kind of messed up anyways, I wanted to show you what you might be able to do. And if I'm successful at doing this, then maybe you'll be successful as well too. The way I look at it is, you can't break what's already broken. So now, because I just recently did this, I know that that mark is my mark. So I guess in that respect, even though I shouldn't have fucked it up the first time, I could turn this, and if it doesn't hit anything, I don't know exactly what that's going to mean. Because you shouldn't be able to rotate this before it hits something. But if you are going to rotate it, make sure you rotate it with the non-ratcheting head, because these springs will grab hold and it'll just pull it one way. And I'm going to try to focus on this. So, well, without restriction, it moved right up to where it should be. So now we've got that gear lined up and the other one. We're getting lucky so far. So I wanted to point something to you guys out. I've never had one of these crank pulleys off of here. If this keyway falls out, it faces the little divot, faces towards the engine. You can rub the keyway down in there and kind of feel it, just so you know. And I'm just going to put it back together with all the parts, because I'm pretty sure that I left the tensioner a little bit loose. Not the tensioner itself, but the pulley that goes right here. I did not torque that down. I must have forgot. You know, I make mistakes too, but this is exactly why. Complacency is the killer of men. I was complacent. An amateur mechanic, he'd have been paying attention to every single step in the book and would have done this, but I've done this so many times that I got complacent. I didn't pay attention to what I was doing, so it's going to cost me at least 45 bucks for a timing belt. And that's about what that looks like. I don't think I dug this up too much, but I had a hell of a time setting this back down on here. This keyway is supposed to protrude, but what I did was I had actually got it to start, and then I could wiggle it on there, and it just needed to go on a certain way and then be screwed and put into place. And then I put the keyway in last, just in case you guys have that same issue sometime. I don't know. Okay, so I got everything lined up, and I have it reinstalled. I have things torqued down. I genuinely have no disillusion that this ain't gonna work. I'm hoping that it works, because that'll mean that you will be able to see it work. And you may be able to do this to your vehicle if it's like mine. But I don't think so. We're gonna see if this part actually makes it to the video. I didn't even unplug my battery, but we're gonna turn it over. I don't think that the belt's gonna come off, or I would just put the phone down there by the thing there. Okay, what I suspect will happen is it should start up and run very poorly. Because when you bend valves, you generally only bend one or two because your engine has momentum. And in this particular situation, my engine wasn't running very long, and it wasn't at high RPMs, it was just at an idle. So I think I got probably 2 valves bent, maybe more. But all right, enough with the agony. Oh my fucking God! Holy fucking shit! Oh no! Unless that's the belt making some weird noise. No, it is making a weird noise, but it's fucking running, bitches! It's fucking running, motherfuckers! Okay, celebration moment over. We've got one of two things going on. We're gonna have to remove the valve covers and do a valve adjustment, because when I give it gas, it's not that it sounds bad, it's that check engine light was flashing, which meant that there was a hard code, and more than likely it's a misfire. The heads have to come off of here, but it does run. Or it's because you're a jackass and you didn't pull the pin, because you've got YouTube certified repair technician working on freaking Saturns. And actually kind of feels like it's pretty strong. Don't want to run it too much without the harmonic on there, but let's just see what happens. Starts right up and runs. Yeah, you notice that right there? I didn't pull that out. Whenever I do that, I'll take a smaller one and I'll push it up against there, and I would say that maybe that's my valve noise. Maybe. Let's see. Wow, it's funny what happens when you actually set the tensioner correctly. Most of that noise is gone away. This is all engine noise now. Ooh, that scared the shit out of me. Dudes, you're not going to believe this. All that valve train noise went away a couple moments after I pulled that tensioner, because all the gears lined up. This thing's definitely got a exhaust leak that I don't remember being there. I thought I fixed it, but I guess that's for another video. Let's see what happens. Well, running pretty damn strong. So now I'm going to explain to you why this worked and some of my tips and tricks out of this. But first, let me take this opportunity to try to sell you another one of my fantastic products, which is the repair trailing arm brackets for this problem that's on the rear of these as well. I'll need your VIN number and your shipping zip code. Back to the movie. My crank was approximately pointed over this way to about 9, 10 o'clock. My front cam right here was pointed over here to about 3 o'clock. My rear cam was pointed down here at 6 o'clock. All I did was I left that at the 10 o'clock position, and I started moving this to the 12 o'clock position like it is here on the thing. Then I also did this one too. But generally what I'll do is I'll leave this back at the 11 o'clock position and leave this one at about the 11:30. So basically 1 tooth off. And I'll leave this one about 2 teeth off. The reason for that is because you start the timing belt going on this side. And when you put it on here, no matter what you do, you're always going to have slack in the middle of here. So then, when I get it on this one, I just set it on here, I leave it off of my crank, and I will pull this front cam and line up this back cam right here to where it's dead nuts. And then if I still have slack in here and this one's not lined up, I'll take my belt and I'll move it up a tooth or 2 teeth, whatever I need, along with moving this cam back. Then that way, everything lines up. And then once I get down here on the crank, I will leave it back at about the 11 o'clock position. I know that looks like 12 o'clock right there, but it's more like 12:30. And I will move this to take the slack out of this area right here, and then my tensioner will take up all the rest of the slack, and everything should be dead nuts on there. I'm assuming that you folks at home can take this book and screenshot this, and then you'll have all the procedures for doing this. Hopefully that's helpful for you folks. So my name is Clay with the Clay Way here in Grand Rapids, Muskegon, Michigan, Western Michigan, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you're able to fix your Saturn like I was able to fix mine and keep that sucker on the road. If you've got a question for me, you can hit me up at Clay's AC and Auto Repair on the Facebook Messenger. And if you don't know, I make several components for Saturn Vue Theta bodies that rust out on these things. That's how I make a living, and that's what I do. These YouTube videos pay about 2/10 of a cent per view, and that's if you don't skip through the damn thing. So when you're watching my videos, or if you want to help me out because I helped you out, you can donate to my channel, which is extremely helpful. But if you don't have any money, just turn the videos on at nighttime while you're sleeping. Turn the volume down and let the suckers play. Remember, no matter what it is you think you can or cannot do, if anyone else has ever done it, you can do it too. Don't be the next to them, be the absolute first to you. Click the notifications, share my videos, give me them sweet old thumbs up. God bless you folks, and have the greatest of days.